Welcome to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton, and welcome to the extra time for Everton 1, Luton 2. An absolute embarrassing result for Everton. Let's not beat around the bush. A disgrace, really, to lose at home to a side that hadn't won a game all season so far. Just gone up to a third tier side and, made us look like a third tier side, let's be honest. That's how bad, I mean, they're a bad side, but so are we. We deserve to lose at the end of the day. It was a poor display at home once again. Owen's going to join me for this one, and it's one, isn't it? Just how do you explain what's just happened there? Because we just gifted the worst side in the league 3 points and 2 goals and 3 points in one of the, what was supposed to be one of the more winnable games in our calendar. And we've, let's be honest.
Yeah, there was um, very little to take from the performance overall. I thought they bullied us really, and there's something you don't like saying about an Everton team, but I just felt they had a physical edge on us the whole game, and that they were being more effective with their play, that they were asking more questions. I know we had a lot of chances first half, and some of the chances we missed, we have to talk about it because if they go in, we had like five decent chances in the first 15 minutes. If one of those go in, then you're talking a different game, maybe. But we don't. We get frustrated. They grab a set piece goal and they have a spell of about 8 minutes where they were just putting balls in the box. They were getting set pieces, getting corners, and every one of them to me looked like they were going to go in. And it was that sort of 10 minutes, 7 to 10 minutes lost the game because I thought before and after that we pretty much were in total control. We just didn't take our chances, and I thought a lot of players sort of hid and
Definitely.
shared responsibility to take to grab the game by the scruff of the neck, and yeah, I think they bullied us. We didn't compete well enough, and we didn't take responsibility, and all together in sort of a bad mix that gives you a result like that and Luton win the game.
What's going on with the set pieces? Because Sean Dyche had us set up so well with that last year, and we just aren't this year. It's been leaking goals from crosses into the box, and I don't understand why. Because you know, not a great deal changed with the defence. If anything, Brantwaite's an upgrade on Michael Keane, and for
Yeah,
some
it's a
reason we
weird
can't
one, isn't it?
defend crosses.
I think again, yeah, I think it's a weird one. I think it's only been really like entrenched in this game because they target it so much, but Arsenal as well has an advantage
Wolves as
to
well.
us. Yeah, I think Wolves especially when they put the 7'4" striker on at the end to score the winner. Um, but yeah, I think I don't know what it is. I don't know if teams are playing around our system a bit more and we have to respond to that. I don't know. I think generally we've been pretty good at set pieces for a while, but I don't know. I feel like taking them apart from Brentford and stopping them going in. I just think we've lost our way about it the last couple of weeks.
What is it? What can Sean Dyche do to like sort it out? Because that I think that's one of the most simple things that he can sort out. I mean, there's a lot of problems, but
Yeah,
tightening up from set pieces is one of the things I think that he needs to be doing better at because that's one of the things that I've always think Sean Dyche has done that brilliantly is keeping defenses tight. Um,
yeah, yeah.
it's
I
it's
think
really shocked me that, and it's really disappointed me because like I'd never thought to throw Sean Dyche in the same um, list as Roberto Martinez and Marco Silva on how much the poor defense from set pieces is winding me up now. Like
I think
it's
I think
unbelievable.
I think Rafa Benitez was the worst one for it because
Oh, Benitez,
every
yeah,
he
he
was
was
the
awful
worst
as well.
one. He was his was the worst one. I think it's been a recent occurrence. I don't think it's been something that's been a regular pattern throughout the whole of his tenure. I think
Not
last
at
season we
all.
were
Last
brilliant.
season he did great.
Yeah, so I think it's more of a case of teams looking at what we're doing and working around it. I think Luton put the ball into some really good areas, and I think Arsenal went really short with theirs. So I think it's just something that we're going to have to change the way we defend them. I
Dyche just
think,
got to go back to the drawing board because that
yeah, I think, or whoever, I think it might be Ian Owen who does set pieces. So whoever it is, they need to have a look at what we're doing and reinvigorate it. I think the whole thing at the moment needs a bit of a reinvigoration. I think they need to just find a few different ways of us defending, us attacking, just to some breathe some new life into what we're doing. Because I think at times I just think we lose belief and confidence in a performance quite quickly. So you can go through a spell thinking, isn't that interesting? We've created some chances here and we're looking like we're knocking on the door, and then it just goes dead flat and we can see the goal and that's the game gone. They need to find a way of keeping a game interesting for 90 minutes, and I think that Brentford and Villa, I thought we were excellent, by the way, but I think if we went back to square one against Luton, we need to find a consistent way of every week we play like this, and I don't know, just brings it all together. So one win and then we take it on, rather than one win and then that happens. We need to be able to find a way that we can play against all teams, and I just think at the moment we're a bit, I don't know, a bit all over the place.
I always admired Dyche's pragmatism, and I feel like he needs to harvest a bit of that at the moment because that's what's going to
Yeah,
get us through. This is finding different ways to win games, like you say. Yeah, it's really like I think what worries me now is that the fans are turning on John Dyche, and I mean I think he deserves a bit more time than people are affording him. But I think obviously it's a results business. Like I worry about like how easily our fan base can turn. So I can already feel it turning.
yeah, I don't think that's a factor for him to worry about. I think he just needs to worry about the team and preparation and that kind of stuff. I think there's always with social media, I think there was people questioning David Moyes last season heavily, he begging for him to be sacked, and then he puts a run together, keeps them up, wins the Europa Conference, and now you've had a good start to the season. He was like a game away. I don't know. I think people's people have very definite views about football and very, I don't know, dogmatic sort of thinking that they can't shift the thinking that. So I think there'll be an element, and I don't think they've ever gone away where they didn't want him in the first place. The results haven't changed their mind one way or the other, but they never wanted them. I think there's other people like me who wanted them. I think he done brilliantly last season. Bit disappointed this season, but still confident he'll keep us up. And there's the people who are in the middle who just support the team, get behind them, and make this decision based on a longer term thing and what they can see. And you
Like,
know,
Uh,
yeah, somewhere in
I
the middle.
I need you called Dyche all kinds on Saturday, but it's one of them. Like I think more
Mate, if we, after what game was it this season? The Villa game, I'd have had Nathan Patterson in front of the Hague or something. We, we all get angry on a match day. And I've said very stupid things after games before, but in the cold light today, you've got to calm down and consider what's the target for the season, what to stay up, where we are at the moment, 16th. Is it great, anything to cheer about? No, but is it where we roughly probably expect it to be? Yeah. So I think due to the fact that it sounds crazy, but we're probably going around where will be at the end of the season. I think you could have Guardiola in charge of this lot, and he'll be in a relegation battle. So I think it's just about keeping cool heads and just plucking away at it. I think that's the main takeaway from this game. We completely lost the physical battle. We were bullied. We embarrassed ourselves. The manager made some poor substitutions. and then we don't forget about it. But I just don't think it's something that's worth any of us dwelling on because there's another big game around the corner, and I think that takes full priority now. I think we know what went wrong. We know what's gone wrong at home this season. I think away, ironically, we look a decent team on the break. It's just can he find a way of winning at home? And if he does, great. We'll climb the league. If not, well, then we're going to be in serious trouble. We'll deserve the criticism we'll get for that because we do need to stay up.
We need a better home record. We've not won a single home game. So I think we've lost every single home game this season. Is no on no plans is it good enough. Like he's got to really sort that out quick. But I'm not sure. We've got Liverpool away after the international, obviously, which is not great. But after that, I'm not actually sure who have we got next at home.
After, oh, I,
The
don't- I think I
Derby,
think I think we've got West Ham away coming up.
maybe. Yeah, I'm trying to think who
I'm
the
not
next
sure
home
about
game
one.
is because basically whatever that next home game is, it's must win. Even if we're not in the bottom three even if we're higher up the table, if we've had some good results away, that next home game is must win because you can't be going on not winning home games when you're Everton and you need to harness your home crowd to try and get over the safety line.
I think one win will change it. I don't think it's entrenched. I just think it's a massive mental block at the moment, and it's something you've got to change because that's ultimately what will be the difference between us staying up and going down. But like I said, I think calm heads are needed at the moment.
That's the problem. It's not the problem at home. Like a lot of someone's saying, like the fans are to blame for it, but I'm not. I wouldn't go that far because I think that's ridiculous. But are the
No,
players feeling the pressure more at home?
I think there's an onus on us to go and chase the game at home, and I think away from home we can play more on the break and more to a game plan. And I think that's ultimately the difference. I just don't think these players suit chasing a game. I think
No,
they
definitely
suit
not.
soaking it
They're
up.
not skillful enough to create chances when another team's setting a defence up
Yeah, I
for them
think
to break down.
I think that's ultimately it. And I think until they get one win, they'll struggle. It's something we have
Yeah.
to break out of quickly though.
But that's something like that's what Dyche has got to do. Now, obviously, we've got Bournemouth next in the away game. He's got an international break there. He's got to try and come up with something different in that time period to have us prep for whatever the next home game throws at us. We've got to have something different to offer
We've
them.
got Bournemouth on Saturday at home, but
Well,
after that,
obviously, I mean, like you say, we've been a bit better away, so you'd never know. But that's crucial now. We've got to like get a good performance and a good result there because they're right down there with us and whatnot anyway. So that's another. It's definitely a must not lose. Put it that way.
it's imperative we show something, isn't it? I think.
That's it. Yeah, we've got to get a result. Basically, we've got to definitely not get beat.
Yeah, I think you're spot on. I think if we get beat badly, especially if people's heads will just go then, won't it, and just it won't do anything any good. I think we need to show something, show a performance, and hopefully that just improves everything then in a performance because I don't know, I think at the moment we're just in a bit of stasis, especially at home where and no matter what we do, we're not seeming to win. So we need something different to win as a game.
That's it. I mean, like I say, the away recently, he's got like an all right formula. I think he seems to have sussed
That's what I
out.
mean.
But well, sorry,
That's what I mean. I think away from home, they've sorted their out. Just need to sort the home form out.
but I think that's like once we get past this Bournemouth game, whatever happens, he's got to be working on a new system for home games. And I know we haven't got a great deal of resources, but we can still make more of them. I think than what we've shown at home so far this season.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think, I think as bad as it all has been, I think these players are more capable of winning more home games than they have been, and I think everyone's minds have to be focused on from Saturday. And and that has to go into a different mentality, a different way of doing things at home. Otherwise, I think we'll just end up being in a situation where we'll just keep losing games, and it'll end up resulting in relegation because they'll never be properly shifted.
I think it needs to change soon. Would you advocate any? I mean, this might be a bit ridiculous, but and say early doors, but do you advocate any like bus greetings or anything, even at this early stage, or just to try and change
I
the?
think I think that ship has sailed. To be honest, I think
I know we
that
did it at the end of last year, didn't we, for the Bournemouth game, like, but
yeah, I think that's do or die. Though I don't think an average game against Bournemouth in October is going to get people's pulses racing. I think it's just I do think that ship has sailed now. I don't think you can go to that well again and come back and give it the same energy as you have done the past 2 years. I think what we have to do is just I don't know. I think for once I think the answers have to come within the club. They have to find the formula rather than the fans.
I'd absolutely agree with that. It's just that I trust the fans more than I trust the players, and that's like saying, but and our fans aren't always going to provide the answer, but to provide more answers than the players tend to do. That's what worries me,
History would suggest so the last couple of years.
definitely. But with that in mind, what would you go with for Bournemouth then after this?
I think there's an argument been put to me that the formation we played against Aston Villa, so the three at the back, worked really well in that game. And
Could be, yeah.
so maybe something similar to that because it worked so well. Maybe you bed that system in. I don't know. I would be tempted to go with that for the Bournemouth game. I think it worked so well that if you give her a chance in some Premier League games, it might just be the catalyst you need to take her on. I think it is as good as we've looked, isn't it? So I, I would I would go with that and hope that it'll be something a bit different. I think that might give us some opportunity.
I think that alone, like we've been saying throughout this show, I think trying something different. I think now's the time for that. If that did work away, then why not stick to what ain't broke and try and fix what is broke?
Yeah, exactly. I think as long as fans can see going into the game that we've given her a bit of thought and we've sort of reflected on what went wrong last week. I think they'll be a lot more forgiving of like a bad pass or a misplaced cross or a bad shot or anything in the opening minutes of a game. If they can see that the other moving parts are something they've looked to try and correct. I
Yeah,
think that's what I need. Winning the fans back over after what was a poor performance.
that's it. I think it buys Sean Dyche a bit more goodwill, that's for sure. If he, tries a new system, because it's proof that he isn't accepting what he's seeing. I think that's a lot of the time what upsets supporters about managers in the past, where when the rot's set in and it's coming close to a manager being sacked, fans have turned because managers have persisted with failing systems. Um,
And that's
I
a fair.
think Sean Dyche is too good to do that. I'd like to think that he's, obviously you mentioned he did it at Villa. Like, can he try it again? Because I think changing the system doesn't always work, but it's always worth a try when things aren't going right, and that will buy him a lot more goodwill. That's for sure, and a bit more patience from the fans. But we'll see. But that's definitely what I'd do anyway.
Yeah, I think try the three at the back again, see if it works, and hopefully it's something then you can just look back and say, well, we changed to that three at the back, and it gave us more solidity and more chance to hit teams on the break, which I think suits us more than doing what we tried to do Saturday and force the game.
Yeah. We'll leave it at that anyway. A depressing game. Let's not get too depressed over it and move on, basically. Yeah, let us know your opinions on Everton 1, Luton 2. Get your comments coming in. Give this video a like and subscribe for more content. Until next time, guys, thanks for tuning in.